Welcome to Baby and Us, short videos to help you feel calm, confident and connected with your new baby. I'm Claire.
And I'm Catherine.
And you'll meet some of our amazing parent group leaders who will share experiences of life with their own new babies.
Now we're going to think about understanding our baby's moods. So you'll see a cycle in front of you that shows the different moods or states that babies will go throughout the day. So have a think about what your baby might need at these different times of day. You'll see that we have deep sleep or dreamy, going to drowsy, you have awake and alert, you have fussy, and you have crying in distress. So just have a think about what your baby does when they're in each of these moods. So have a think about their body movements, their eye movements, their facial expressions, their breathing patterns, and their responsiveness. How might your baby be feeling in each of these moods? And what does your baby need at this point? And now I've got a few further questions just to get you thinking about this subject. How many times does your baby's mood change within a day? How many times do they go through that cycle? How do you try to meet your baby's needs during these different moods? When do you think is the best time to play with your baby? When are they most able to play and interact and be in a good state for that? How long do you wait to allow your baby to respond or smile back after you've smiled at them? So that may vary depending on which mood they're in. If your baby feels overwhelmed, what do they do to calm themselves down? You may also be helping at that point as well. And the last question, what is your baby's favourite thing that they do with you? Have a think about that.
So now we're going to have a think about types of crying. So have a little look at the pictures and see if you can think about why the babies in the pictures might be crying. There's lots of different reasons and there's no right or wrong. So just have a look and have a think about what these might be. So the sorts of things you might have come up with might be discomfort through hunger, pain, being wet, cold, teething. It might be the need for physical closeness. It might be loneliness or fear. It might be the need to suck. They might be picking up on a change in tension or stress from you, remembering that parents and babies' feelings can be linked. So what can we do to help our babies when they are crying? We can think about giving them extra cuddles, or the use of a baby sling when we're thinking about that physical closeness, a change of position, a change of environment, even just changing rooms sometimes can help. A warm bath, a gentle massage, cuddling them with a wrap or a swaddle, and some background noise or a lullaby. There's lots of different ways that you can help a baby and soothe a baby. And as a parent, you'll get to know your baby over time, or you may already know bits and pieces that work. And you'll notice the sorts of things that really soothe your baby. And they might be different things at different times. And you'll get to learn about your baby and pick up on those. And it's really helpful to have a range of things you can do. Because some days, especially when babies are teething, for example, you might need to try a range of these to help soothe your baby.
So now we're going to think about how you feel when your baby cries. So just have a think about that. There might be a whole range of feelings. You might feel worried, you might feel anxious, self-conscious, annoyed, frustrated, angry, confused. All those feelings are normal and you would experience a range of them. And there will be times for all parents when it feels particularly hard to deal with your baby crying. That might be to do with your mood at the time. It might be anxiety, tiredness, triggers from past trauma, or experiences of other stresses that are around you. So it can be really useful to be aware of how crying does make us feel, and then you can pay attention to how you're looking after yourself in those times and think about ways to cope better with crying. So remembering in that crying is the only way that babies can communicate their needs, and that every baby does cry. But if you're finding it particularly hard to deal with, particularly overwhelming, remember to reach out for support, and also think of ways to look after yourself, things that you know help you in difficult situations, and that will help you to deal with your baby's crying. And also remember that the more anxious that you feel, it may be then harder to calm your baby. So just trying to look after yourself in those situations as best you can. Another quite useful technique is an acronym called SLOW. So you'll see in front of you that stands for stop. And remember that baby's language is crying. To listen, and just listen to the cry and think calmly, what does this crying mean? Observe, look at your baby and think, what is going on here? Look around and just try to understand, why is it that they're crying and what's up? So evaluate and respond.
So when I think about my baby's behaviour, I can sort of start to think about the different types of cry, or like how sort of like frazzled they seem. It definitely happened with my toddler. We could tell from like the pitch and the intensity of certain cries what he needed, and also like sometimes the behaviour can be quite confusing. So sometimes it can be really energetic and revved up, but actually they're overtired and they need to sleep. I think it's just, if you can tune into the fact that not all cry is the same, then it allows you to sort of work out what's going on behind, I think.
One of my babies was a baby that cried a lot, and I had to develop some strategies to get through, because I found that I would get really drawn into the emotion of them crying and start panicking and start worrying. And so I did have to develop some strategies to help me get through. One of the things that I would do is try in that moment when they were really crying to pause, to breathe, and to break it down, and to just go through like step by step. You know, is it because they're hungry? Is it because they're tired? Is she needing a nappy change? So if my husband was around, I would get him involved. You know, that we were trying to work together to help her get through this, and just chatting with somebody else and almost calming each other down, as well as thinking about how to calm her down, really helped. And if he wasn't around, then, you know, phoning somebody.
We'd really like to encourage you to do one nice thing for yourself this week, and that might be creating your own self-soothe box, or it might just be doing something you enjoy. So hopefully you can give that a go.
Okay, and then we're just going to finish off with 2 songs for the babies. So you may want to have your baby with you or sing them another time. So I'm going to start off by singing Row, Row, Row the Boat, which goes, row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. If you see a crocodile, don't forget to scream. Ah!
And now we're going to sing Twinkle, Twinkle. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. I hope your babies enjoyed that. Thank you for coming, join our session. Lovely to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.